You're listening to the One Man Show Network. Welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast with your host, Aaron Weinbaum.
Hey everyone, welcome to the MMA Fight Picks Podcast. I am your host, Aaron Weinbaum, and for like the third week in a row, no fights to pick. So I guess I will discuss with you some of the goings-ons in the mixed martial arts world. If you're on the Periscope, YouTube, whatevs, feel free to join the discussion live, and I will get to all of your comments, I promise. And yeah, lots and lots of news, even though there's not any fights, which is it's sad, but I guess things could be worse. And I'm happy to be bringing this live to you every week. It looks like I've got my streaming problems fixed for now. I've had some issues, but it's not Ecamm Live's fault. It's kind of a restream internet connection thing, but my internet connection is up to snuff, I think, finally. So let's get to the news. Now, this following has been widely publicized here. UFC 249 in jeopardy. I don't know as of now if it's going to happen at all, but Khabib is out of UFC 249 on April 18th, stuck in Russia. Due to closed borders. There are mixed statements whether or not the UFC even gave Khabib permission to go to Russia or if he, went on his own. Khabib says he did have permission. UFC, some people are mumbling no. So it's very, very interesting. The UFC did offer a fight to Tony Ferguson against Justin Gaethje. So he's in, Tony's not in. He's weighing several options. What do you think Tony should do? Here's the thing. Here's the rub here. Does he risk his legacy by taking a fight against a dangerous opponent that isn't the champ? Let's not forget Tony was interim champ at lightweight, never lost the belt. Tripped over a wire, injured his knee. Max Holloway steps in, can't make weight safely. A dolly goes through a bus, and Ally Quinta ends up giving Khabib the hardest fight of his life, going all 5 rounds. So that's it, though. But Tony stripped of the interim title after that. Very interesting. Now, COVID-19 puts a stop to this fight. I mean, is this just never going to happen? Is this fight never going to take place between Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov? I don't know. Gosh, I mean, this is like the 5th time this fight's been canceled. Something crazy. And if you are on Periscope or YouTube, feel free to chime in what you think. Then all of a sudden, Jorge Masvidal throws his hat in. But what weight? If somebody out there knows, I don't know. What weight was it? If it's lightweight, that's a little over 2 weeks for him to get down to 155 pounds. He says he depletes himself to make that weight. What if Masvidal loses? What does that do to his title shot against Usman at 170 pounds? Oh, man. And does he start over again at 170 pounds if he loses this fight? I don't know. This is very, very interesting stuff. Kavanaugh hinted maybe that Conor could hop in, but I don't think he can leave Dublin, so I'm sure that Coach Kavanaugh is just trolling. Sorry, Conor fans. I know there's lots of you out there that hate on me whenever I talk illy of the great Conor McGregor. All right, John Jones in the news again, and it's not good. What was wrong with this guy, man? Another DWI and a weapons charge, I think, as well. This guy, man, he urges everyone to stay home. Makes these little videos and whatnot. And then he goes out and drives drunk. And if you look at Ben Askren's Twitter feed, not the kindest to John Jones, it says, why doesn't this guy just get a driver? I mean, why doesn't this guy just get a driver? This is insane stuff, right? So I don't hate the guy. And I'm not trying to besmirch his name, but I just hope he gets it together. And he has come out and apologized, and he said he took a plea deal with Albuquerque, New Mexico, I guess, admitted he has a problem with alcohol. So this is when my friend John Jones, not the fighter, the video game developer, comes in, and, it's his time to shine. He says he gets all the flack for John Jones because his Twitter name is @JohnJones, spelled just like Johnny Bones Jones' name. So if there's no bones, it's just John Jones. So this guy gets all the flack and, gets about 1,000 new followers or two every time, answers all the DMs. I mean, it's crazy, some of this stuff. Now, he said that he plugs his phone into a charger and it still dies because he gets so many notifications, I guess, on Twitter. That's insane. So he owns the handle John Jones. He's verified. And he's super white and he's got a giant mustache. Other than that, I can see why people get confused. By the way, when you see white John Jones pop up on Adam Hunter's podcast, MMA Roasted, or somewhere else, remember, way back when, a couple of years back, who interviewed him first? Me. So look that up on YouTube, Aaron Weinbaum, John Jones. That interview will come to life. It's great. He reads some of his favorite tweets and some of his favorite DMs, and we had a lot of good moments there. And so please look that up. Alonzo, I see you, buddy. You're saying Gaethje is fighting Ferguson. Is this a done deal? Have I missed the news? I need to know. He also says R.I.P. to John Jones' career, and he used to be his favorite fighter. I hope John Jones gets it together. But Alonzo, do some work for me, man. Is this fight a for sure thing, or are you just speculating? All right. More news. This is good news. According to MMAfighting.com, my man Damian Martin over there, sorry. UFC London fighters are to receive payment for canceled event. That's cool. Okay, Alonzo said not a done deal. I thought you were breaking some news for me, man. I did just check before this podcast, too, just to make sure. I don't think it's going to be a done deal. I hate to say it. No way Conor gets out of Ireland, so. All right, back to this. So while the UFC is trying hard to get these events going, or keep them going, rather, Scott Coker tweets out that due to the ongoing safety concerns surrounding the COVID-19 outbreak, as well as current federal, state, and local government mandates, Bellator MMA officials today have announced 3 upcoming live events scheduled for May. All 3 of them postponed. All right, that's a ballsy move. I don't know if the UFC is going to follow suit or not. It seems like they're still trying to make these fights happen. The problem is this. Everyone's training various places. Some people are out of the country. I need to get them all to Vegas and maybe like at the Performance Institute. I don't know, but there's so many gathering laws and everything else. So, it's sad times, man. It's sad times for me. I've had to do some stuff out of the house I'm not used to doing. I like to move and go, and I'm a mover shaker type guy, but all my in-person meetings have been canceled, on the business side of things. So I'm learning how to use Zoom, and, luckily I've got all this set up at home so I can just do meetings this way, but it's different, I don't mean to be complaining. At least I have my family with you. I know there's lots of folks stuck at home, and anyone that is stuck at home, shoot me a message if you're super bored. You can do that on the Twitter or Aaron. Oh, what's my email? AaronWeinbaum@gmail.com or whatever. So yeah, interesting. MMAnews.com. A couple of headlines before I say goodbye, and thank you for participating, Alonzo. If there's anyone else out there, shoot me a question or whatnots. Henry Cejudo, get this. In case Jose Aldo doesn't make it to their event in June, I believe, he wants to fight Dominic Cruz. Basically anyone that's not the true number 1 contender here. So no rematch with Marlon Moraes. No Petr Yan. No Aljamain Sterling. He wants to fight Dominic Cruz, who hasn't fought in, I guess, a few years now. This is insane. So I don't know. This is crazy how these title fights are getting awarded back and forth, basically based on no merit whatsoever. At least the Yoel Romero thing I kind of understand because he's always the guy like behind the guy. Paulo Costa was out. Jared Cannonier, I don't think he was good to go either. So I get that, but like you got Henry Cejudo calling everyone out except for well, I mean, I get it, but the true number 1 and 2 contenders, he's not calling out. He's just looking for name value, fights, I guess, only. So interesting. Now, here's a joint little deal here. Tyron Woodley, also from MMAnews.com, and Colby Covington want to fight at 249. I'd be down for that. I think they're both in the States. I think they can both get somewhere. Certainly Oregon, or I don't think Missouri's a possibility. I'm from Missouri, so we're all doing these stay-at-home orders at least through, I think, the end of the month. It starts Monday, so I don't know. I mean, I think no matter where they go, it's going to be an empty arena type thing. But that'd be great. I'd be down for that, especially since Tyron's fight in London against Leon Edwards got canceled. Colby Covington offered to step in then. I'd be down for that fight. Colby was going to make weight on like a week's notice or something insane. You think he can do it in 2.5 weeks? I don't know. I think he trains year round anyway. So, this would probably just be about the weight cut. I thought he looked great against Usman. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. And, there's just weird things going on too. Like Masvidal being offered a fight against Usman, but they say Masvidal turned it down. Masvidal says he didn't turn it down. A lot of crazy stuff. I see a lot of people hopping on here, so feel free to chime in. My closing comments are coming soon. So that's interesting. And then another blow here to this card. MMA Junkie reports that Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway, the rematch, scheduled for June 6th in Perth. UFC 251, that is scratched. It's gone. Volkanovski quarantined, can't get to New Zealand to train properly, doesn't think it's a smart thing to take a fight that he can't train for, obviously against the number 2 guy right now in the featherweight division. Ugh. So this event, big trouble because Shevchenko Cold War has already been scratched. I think it's Valentina is injured. So interesting there. All right. Well, I think we've done it. Thanks for Alonzo and the participation here. If there's no one else that wants to say hey or type into the comments, I guess you could at me at Twitter as well. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and close the show if there are no more comments. And until next time, this is the MMA Fight Picks podcast, not picking fights. I guess we're just going to hit the hard news bits, try to get a few guests on and whatnot. And we're going to keep on podcasting, especially for you guys stuck at home. I know you want to hear a familiar face. I run a podcasting made simple group, basically, where I help podcasters that are stuck at home that are used to being in a studio. So, hey, if you're interested in starting a podcast, hit me up. I'll tell you how. It's super easy. You can, a lot of the times you can do it with the equipment you already have at home. But fight fans, this is it. Until next time, shalom.
Please remember to support the podcast by visiting the affiliate links on AaronSaysWhat.com.